It's time for the most famous words in iRacing. It's time for your Go Time music. "24 cars are going to battle it out at the return of the tricky triangle. The Illumanati, 169 at Pocono. Pete Tart will lead the field. Ronnie Lane, Aiden Gould, Douglas Henry, Jacob Blakely, Jacob Alicia, Stephen James, David Wright, Caleb Elswick, Jacob Pettit, your top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we are racing! Issues for Pete Tart as they enter turn three. That's Ronnie Lane sending it up the inside. Can't get the rotation, has to fall back. And Pop-Tart Pete will lead the first lap. And we already got a wreck in the midfield. Matthew Legat sideways. Still cars sideways trying to avoid. And it appears the green flag will stay out. I saw Gordon Larson Jr. grab some damage. Gordon Spain was sideways. Matthew Legat, I believe, is where it started, and he is now up into the fence. So Legat's going to brush the wall. David lifts, and he's trying to get to the inside, just doesn't get there in time. And Matt will get spun across GLJ's nose. Excuse me, David Wright's. And he's trying to throttle back up. I think GLJ and Aaron Warren made contact. Pete Tart leads, you can see. Looks like PALracing at Talladega as they head down the straightaway into turn one. Guys trying to find the best line, getting some runs, using the bumpers if they need to push. Speaking of push, I think that was Caleb Elswick, almost got into the left rear. Jacob Alicia down the back straightaway. Aiden Gould has picked up the second spot. Stephen James trying to move to the inside of Caleb Elswick. He'll have to tuck back end line. That's 7th and 8th back there. And then to the tunnel turn, I think Douglas Henry's going to have a really good rotation. Looks like he had to back out of it. Let's Jacob Blakely get back to him. And Aiden Gould now, can he run down Pop-Tart Pete? This is what Pete sees in his mirror. Doug will look to the inside. He wants to take away the position. Ronnie Lane still battles on his outside. Doug has to lift, which means they're going to lose gap to Aiden Gould. Ronnie Lane will defend the position, but you immediately lose time to the car in front when you get side by side like that. Jacob Alicia was even able to catch up. Here he is in 5th. Here goes Douglas Henry side by side with Ronnie Lane again. This time, I'm sure he'll be able to make it work as he goes up the inside in turn 3. Pay attention to corner exit. Keeps it off the wall. Very clean exit. Douglas Henry now up the inside. Wow, and Pete Tart has lost a lot of ground that he had gained on Aiden Gould, but Douglas Henry is the one taking advantage. Aiden Gould, I think I heard him brush the wall. Doug will go by. Has Doug saved enough tire to just go up there and get Pete Tart? When they've all closed the distance. This is immaculate. While Douglas Henry trying to work on Pop-Tart Pete. And I don't know what to reply to this person. I don't know if this is actually him or what. Here's the thing. I know when you take a selfie, you could turn off the... Oh, there goes Doug up the inside of Pete Tart that fast. Forget what I was saying. Douglas Henry made the pass on Pete Tart. Pete Tart looks back to the inside. But damn, Doug, driving your way up to the front... maximizing tire saving. Again, not on my bingo card, but look at Douglas Henry go. Jacob Alicia's ran them down from a 1.5 seconds back to on their tail. Jacob Alicia is actually going to enter pit road. Jacob Alicia will roll down pit road. I figured he'd continue to run down that duo and have that track position, but he goes, you know what? I'll hit pit road now. This is the strategy I want to go with. Caleb Ellswick, here comes your whole line of leaders. Douglas Henry will lead them. There's Aiden Gould, Pete Tart behind him. So is Jacob Blakely. Stephen James will actually stay out. Joe Houston is currently your relative leader. He pit lap 22. The tire difference between him and Douglas Henry, Aiden Gould, and Pete Tart is right around 6 laps. Jacob Alicia, he pit lap 26. The tire difference will be 2. So there they are entering turn 1. Then here's Douglas Henry entering turn 1 just behind them. So Doug, Gould, and Pete. Now Gould and Pete have just navigated David Wright to the right side of your screen. I think Doug is going to make it his mark here to get Joe on exit. Yes, he will. Powers to the inside. Aiden Gould should follow. He'll have a run on Joe. Pete Tart, not so sure. Doug on the bottom. Aiden Gould, nose full of dirty air at the moment. He won't be able to clear up on exit. He'll have to stay in line. Pete Tart will, though, and now Pete Tart will get behind Aiden, push him by Joe Houston. They're even going to build a run on Douglas Henry, and they go into turn 1. Will it be enough to go for the second spot? Teammates working together, giving each other a push. Doug on the top all by himself, enters high. Can he arc it around and get the drive off? It appears he will. Doug and Pete, Aiden and Pete will have to get back up in line. Joe Houston all over Pete Tart now. There's not much he'll be able to do from that position. He will fall back. While these guys are battling, as Aiden Gould looks to the inside, Jacob Alicia started to pull away. Here comes Aiden Gould. This time, he'll try the inside. Doug will go high to get the run off the top. They're going to be even as they exit. What can Doug pull off on the top? Actually, he will clear. That's going to allow Pete Tart to now close in the distance. Pete Tart will go to the outside of Aiden Gould, and Doug can begin to pull away because Pete Tart and Aiden Gould will have to be side by side in the tunnel turn. And you can see how good it is. Oh, contact! Pete Tart into the fence from his teammates. Aiden Gould push high, and we got big right front damage on Pop-Tart Pete. Aiden Gould will pull away. Oh no, Pete Tart's nose is all crinkled. You can see it. That's going to affect aero. That's going to affect the rotation. Aiden Gould gets into your pole sitter. Once again, passing for the lead before the end of the run. Put himself in the lead for the pit cycle. He should get to Jacob Alicia within this lap. I'm assuming Jacob will let him by with a little bit of ease, but he is breaking the draft. So obviously Alicia wants this track position. He doesn't want Doug to get too out in front of him. He knows the game. He's done this before. Jacob Alicia has been in both positions. He's been the guy that's trying to out-cycle the leader, and he's been the leader who's trying to keep the guys behind him on the same cycle. If he lets Doug by and Doug pulls ahead by 2 seconds, well, when they hit pit road for the final time, Doug is ahead by 2 seconds. Got to keep that gap close to have a chance. Again, the tire difference only 1 lap. Look to the inside. Alicia will allow him to do so. And the pass for the lead is on. Douglas Henry up the inside. Nothing Alicia can do. Can't even challenge along the top line. And man, if we could hear the crowd for WBR, if we could have an ambient mic in the pit box, man, they'd be going insane. This is huge out of Douglas Henry. And he didn't have to really take advantage of others' mistakes. He had already passed Pete Tart. He was ahead of Aiden Gould. He's going to out-cycle Jacob Alicia here. A little bit of a mistake. Actually, Alicia can battle back. Doug did not have a good tunnel turn. So he'll have to play some defense against Alicia. Alicia ships it in. Nope, doesn't come up. So Doug will have the top line on exit. Alicia will enter pit road. Was that the strategy? Did he try to make Doug overdrive? Now Alicia gets to have the wherewithal. Will he enter pit road this time? No, he stays out again. Why? And so does Aiden Gould. Where is this confidence expecting him to stay out in front and have the advantage over Jacob Alicia? I mean, maybe Doug knows something I don't. Matthew Legat, wrecked out at the beginning of the race, is calling it. Jacob Alicia has won off the strategy. Man, if I was Doug, I would have pit there. And Aiden Gould, he just seems keen to do whatever Doug does. Guys, the difference in tires was only 1 lap. It wasn't like Alicia was on a Hail Mary strategy. I just don't see it. I don't get it. The gap on track, 33 seconds. And Alicia is closing in. I mean, he's going to shave off a second by the next lap. I mean, what is the point? Will Doug enter pit road now? Let's listen to the car. He stays out again. Same thing for Aiden Gould. Guys, I do not know what's going on. I think Doug should have learned his mistake. I don't know. Hey, Douglas's dad, I know you're in the chat. Call up this guy. Now he'll enter pit road. Maybe Douglas's dad was already on it. And by the way, Aiden Gould had hit pit road the lap previous. So now let's pay attention to Douglas Henry. Please do not tell me we put left sides on. Right sides, just enough fuel to make it to the end. It's a 15-second gap to Jacob Alicia. I mean, what are you doing? Here's Douglas Henry entering his box. Jacob Alicia, he's coming down the front straightaway. Doug, right side's on. If the jack drops, will he launch? No. No, the left sides go on. What's the strategy? And Jacob Alicia will fly by. And he has 16 laps to go. I don't see the strategy, guys. Douglas Henry, center of turn 3. I don't know, guys. I do not know. There's Doug. Alicia's catching Aaron Warren just on track. Again, Aaron still just out there slow rolling. Very old tires. Really hoping for a late race yellow. We're going to sit on the flag stand. Green car, Jacob Alicia drives by. And 6.8 seconds back, Douglas Henry will cross the flag stand. And guys, he's not gaining at a rapid amount like he was about 5 laps ago. Oh my. They got this race climactic. And it may even be one of those where the pass comes at the very end. The closing distance, mathematically, shows that Doug will catch him, but we have to remember he's not catching at the same pace every lap. He gets slower and slower and closer to Jacob Alicia's baseline. 3 seconds, the gap now. Two seconds, 3 laps, guys. I know once he gets within drafting range, it'll be dangerous for Alicia, but come on, guys. We're at the flag stand right now with 3 laps to go. Surely Alicia will hang on. Next time by, the race will be over. It's a white flag, 1 more lap to go. Douglas Henry trailing by 1.5 seconds. Jacob Alicia trying to break a winless streak. For the first turn, Alicia has maintained the same gap for the last 3 laps. And I think we're going to be celebrating in Alicia Racing Academy shop tonight. Wow, what a drive out of Alicia. The strategy all day long somehow was able to outdrive Douglas Henry on this final run through the final corner. Jacob Alicia, a winless streak like no other. Out of the final turn, can you believe it? Jacob Alicia will finally return to victory lane.
There you go, boy.
Yeah, let's go.
Tricky triangle ain't so tricky now, is it?
Yeah, it's tricky triangle, my ass. Even I let a
Doug
lap.
made me earn it. Oh my.
Yes. Yeah, no, that good win.
Oh my gosh, tricky triangle ain't so tricky. Oh my, Jacob Alicia. And Doug has to salute him. Jacob! Oh my! You did it!
I did it.
15 race winless streak. And you snap it. Everybody had you as he could show up and do good. But you get her done. Talk about that strategy of hitting pit road, acting like you were going to challenge Doug. You dive down, and then he stays out. What's going through your head?
That is the race-winning move right there. I think it caught him off guard, and he decided that he was going to try to stay out long. And we had about 25 laps that we could do. There was 22 to go. So I held him up for a couple of laps when he had fresher tires coming up to me. So he had a couple seconds to make up, and he almost made it up, man. Oh, my goodness. I don't think he made a single mistake on that entire final run. I made one or two and got so sweaty and nervous. But we made the right strategy call there. Short betting just a little bit.
Alicia, I mean, you have old T-Pain to your outside messing with you here, but there's a whole group of guys at WBR that have been waiting for something like this to happen. And for you to get it done here at Pocono, the track makes its return. A lot of history here for you. What's it mean just to get the win again? And Pal, where there were people who said, and maybe they were even having a point of saying, Alicia just can't do it anymore.
I was certainly ice cold last season, and I've been doing a bit of racing in some different leagues, and I came into Pal hot, and I knew it was only a matter of time before I'd secure a W. Look for a couple more this season, I think. It's feeling good.
Jacob Alicia, finally a 6-time champion winner in 2026. And is he trying to rebuild a championship run? Alicia, congratulations.
Thanks, Noah.